What is happening, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Fresh Hope for a Better You podcast. My name is Oliver Goulet. I'm your host, as always, and I am truly grateful for today. Today is Easter Sunday when I'm recording this. I have the opportunity to go to church with my mother and father later this afternoon, and I am very excited for that, and it's going to be overall a great day. Got a lot to accomplish. Sundays are my days that I usually set up, record my podcast, get everything rocking and rolling, prepare for the week because it's set up Sunday for a reason. I set myself up for success for the week, and it makes it a lot easier for me to accomplish all the things that I need to in a week when I have a plan. Because one of my favorite sayings is if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And that goes with anything in life, because if you can come up with a game plan, you're more likely to succeed and make it happen compared to just, trying to take everything on without having a game plan. That's like a coach in the NFL showing up to a game and not having a single play written up and he's writing them on the fly. Why would you ever want to do that? That's just going to set yourself up for failure. And I'm here to win. And that's what life is about. Life is about winning. Every day you're supposed to be stacking those wins day after day after day. And over time you compound enough wins day after day that you win the week. You win the week over the next 4 weeks, you win the month. You win that month over the next 12, you win the year. And life is truly all about winning. It all starts with the small little wins, the things that you do on a daily basis that move you in the right direction. So with that being said, I do want to hop into today's topic, which is all about mindset. Mindset has a lot to do with where you are at in life. A lot of people have the victim mindset. They're always wondering, why is this happening to me? Why is my life this way? Well, I'm sorry to say this, but the reason your life is the way it is simply because your mindset, you play victim. And if you are someone that plays victim, your life will never change. You will always be running into problem after problem after problem until you actually take control of your life and realize that you are the one responsible for your own life. No one is coming to save you. I thought that for the longest time, that, if I just one day some knight in shining armor is going to come save my life and, help me and carry me through life and make me successful. Well, that's not true. It's all up to you. You are responsible for your actions that you take every single day. And the actions you take every day, the only thing you deserve from those are the reactions. If you do good things, guess what? You're going to get good reactions. You do bad things, you're going to get bad reactions. And once I've come to realize this, that I was truly in control of my own life, is when my life started to have exponential growth in every single area. Because I was sick of just waiting around for the right time, and waiting for things to come to me, when it's like, no, you have to go get them. If you want something in life, you have to be absolutely relentless. And if you become absolutely relentless and go after it and execute on a daily basis, accomplishing tasks over time, you will get to where you want to go. There's no way around it. And having that mindset of I will compared to I hope, even though my company and my brand's name is Fresh Hope, it does not mean I just sit around and hope for things to happen. I go and I attack and I go get things, and I change my thinking and my vocabulary from I hope to I will. And this makes me actually go ahead and really, drive towards making something happen, because when I say I will do something, I'm a man of my word. And if you aren't a man or a person of your word, you are really nothing, because no one will ever listen to you, because you say all these things, you don't follow through with your actions. Then down the road, it simply just comes down to no one's ever going to trust what you say, because how many times have you said you're going to do X, Y, Z and you didn't even do X or Y or Z? And then people see that. People are always watching. That's the thing. Doesn't matter what you think, people are always watching. For example, when I was running down the road for the first couple of years during my weight loss journey every single day, people started to notice. I didn't even notice, and then I would be running, then all of a sudden I'd start seeing more people walking over the years and being outside and active, which I never really saw basically my entire childhood growing up. Rarely I would see people walking down the road. And ever since I started running, consistently down the road, the more I've started to see people get out, get active, and I've actually ran in and talked to many of them. And I started talking to them. They're like, yeah, we've seen you out here the last few years just running, getting after it, getting in shape and stuff. And these are people I've never even talked to until that day. And they're watching, and I had no idea. So you truly never know who's watching, who's listening. So if you're someone that sits there and tells all these things like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and then you don't follow through with the actions, that does nothing. That's never going to move your life forward. So when I started to actually follow through with my actions, in which it all started with changing your vocabulary, because it has a huge impact on what you do. Hoping for something is way different than saying, I will. Like, I will accomplish this. That is something that I say all the time is, now it's not like I hope this happens for me. It's like, no, this will happen for me, because no matter what, I'm going to do everything in my power that I possibly can in order to make this happen. And I'm going to execute on a daily basis, follow the game plan, and I'm going to have to adjust the game plan from time to time, depending on how many times I get kicked in the nuts, because that's going to happen. Life, you are going to fail. If you aren't failing, you truly aren't trying. And that's something I used to be really afraid of, was I did not like to fail. I hated it. I was a quitter. And when for example, when I was in seventh grade, I decided to take up tennis with a bunch of my friends. And the first day, I thought I was going to be great, and I actually sucked and I hated it. So what did I do? I quit. And that's something I regret now, because I'm not a quitter. I don't like to quit at things. I'm always going to try to be successful and at least stick it out. And I started that. I joined the team and I quit. And I highly recommend you never quit on something. Always follow through with something. That's the same thing, for example, with me with college. Looking back, do I need college? No, not for the route I'm doing, not for the business side of things, like for entrepreneurship. I don't necessarily need that degree, but it would look great sitting on my wall. And the fact that I didn't follow through and finish something that I started, that's something that deep down hurts a little bit. You never know, I might go back one day, but right now I'm more focused on my business and growth and, seeing what I can achieve without it when the time comes later down the road and I'm like, yep, I could, I'm going to go back and finish that. I will, because that's something that hurts me on the inside, is because I didn't follow through with something that I said I was going to do. And another thing I want to touch on is the mindset of growth. One thing that I used to struggle with is I used to be a know-it-all. I used to always, have my say on things, and, I was always right. And I always thought, I knew everything being a kid growing up, especially when I was, making good money when I first started my entrepreneurship journey and all this. And I was like, yeah, fuck you. I don't want to listen to you. But then I come to realize that over the last couple years, I truly don't know shit. And I started admitting that. And once I started to admit this, my life started to change, because more people wanted to help me, because I was simply, accepting of, I really don't know and I'm eager to learn. And people want to help people that are eager to learn in life. So if you are someone that struggles with always thinking you know everything or are an expert in certain areas, put that aside. Put your ego aside. Let yourself know that you truly don't know anything. Even though if you're an expert, quote unquote, in some areas of your life, there's always going to be someone that knows more than you in that certain subject, and you can always continue to learn. And that's what the mindset of growth is all about. And once I adopted the mindset of growth, my life truly changed. So that is the main thing I want to talk about today, is the mindset of growth. You need to always be growing and learning every single day, because if you're not, you're dying. Because if you're not learning, you're not growing. If you're not growing, you're dying. There's no such thing as maintaining in life. Like, if you're maintaining, you're actually going backwards, because everyone around you is going forward. And if they're not, you're hanging out with the wrong crowd. And that goes into, you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So take the time to really reevaluate who you're giving your time to, and if those people share the same morals as you, same goals, same visions, same desires, same wants in life. And if they don't, and if they don't pick you up and they don't push you to become better, or they pull you back to where they are, or they talk down upon you because you simply want to better yourself in life, run from those types of people, because they will never have a place in your life if you ever want to achieve anything. This is something I struggled with heavily for the last couple years of my life. Well, the first couple years of my entrepreneurship journey, I was hanging around the wrong people, getting into the wrong things, doing the wrong, things on a daily basis, which led to a drug addiction, led to partying all the time, led to me not giving a fuck about my body, my mind, my soul, and then it all came crumbling down on me one day. And that is not what I want for anyone that is taking the time to listen to this self-development podcast, because I want you guys to learn from my mistakes and avoid those so you guys don't have to face those hardships and you can work on other ones. And you're going to face hardships no matter what in life. It all comes down to simply, if you can learn from other people, which is why I'm huge on reading and self-development and learning from other people, because more than likely, someone's already been through what you're going through and they've written a book about it. So there's always ways to figure out, a better option and route to take than simply, going through the same struggles that they did. You may be able to handle situations better. You may have a better outcome of those situations. And that's something I've learned a lot about over the past couple of years, is learning from other people's mistakes so I don't necessarily have to make them myself, which is why I've read over 80 books in the past 3 years of my life. And now, when I first started, I was just reading to read, but now I'm active reading. I'm really applying it to my life in practical application. And yeah, knowledge is power. The old saying, knowledge is power. But truly applied knowledge is power, because if you have all this information and stuff stored in your brain, but you're not actually applying it, it does nothing. That's why I'm doing a podcast, is simply so I can share my thoughts, my learning, my experiences with you guys. Because otherwise, if I'm not doing that, I'm not living up to my expectations and my values in life. And my biggest values, are something I want to share with people. It's I have a lot to offer this world. And I know over time, as I continue down this entrepreneurship and self-development journey, I'm going to continue to learn more and more every single day. That is, one of my core values is always be learning. I'm always trying to learn new things. I'm learning new things on a daily basis. So that is something I really, really hope you guys adopt into your life, is to always be learning, core value, because you are truly only going to continue to move forward in life if you continue to learn on a daily basis. And having that mindset of growth will help you exponentially and help you move closer to your goals faster and more efficiently. And you won't go through the struggles of dealing with people and having problems with certain people if you separate yourself from those types of people that don't share, the same values, goals, desires, and dreams as you, and having that mindset of growth. Because a lot of people, they really don't have the mindset of growth. They're just, they're comfortable with who they are, what they know. They think they're experts in whatever area they are, and that's why their life is a reflection of that. And people don't necessarily always understand that. And I can look at someone and after a couple minutes, not even probably within a minute of them talking, I can understand who that person is. I can read people like a book. I can understand what their life is like, and I can understand whether or not I want to continue this conversation with this person, or if they even truly give a fuck about having the conversation with me. And that's something I've learned to, first impressions, some people don't necessarily think that they're the, most meaningful thing, but truly, within the first minute of that first impression is all that really matters, because most people like myself can understand what kind of person you are within that first minute, and that can dictate whether or not we ever want to have another conversation with you again. So don't mess up on your first impressions. I highly recommend you take the time to actually, make good impressions, help people, be outgoing, care about people, and not just talk about yourself during first impressions. Having the mindset of growth has also helped me out financially, because I've made decent money doing what I'm doing, but I'm always looking for new opportunities every single day, to make a difference in the industry, within the cannabis industry and within the fitness and nutrition industry. I'm always looking for opportunities for me to help more people, change the industry, make an impact on it, and find my new route that I want to take, because there's so many different paths and stuff you can take within whatever industry you're in. And you don't want to necessarily just follow someone's path just because, their path's going good. If you create your own path, it's going to create way more opportunities for you during that journey that you're taking. And which is going to, overall, it's probably going to make you more money. It's very simple, because if you're trying to copy someone and following that path, you're only going to make you're going to not even make as much as they once were, because they're already moving on to the next thing. They're already 2 steps ahead. What you're seeing them accomplish now is what they were doing 6 months ago, planning, preparation, and stuff like that. So like you're already 10 steps behind them if you're trying to copy them. So that's why the best route to choose is your own route, and creating your own journey, and having people follow you in that way, in business, entrepreneurship, self-development. Finding your own lane is what's truly going to make you stick out and help build your brand, help do whatever you want to achieve in your life, and ultimately help you become the best version of yourself. See, I study many people through all the books and stuff I read, through my mentors, my peers, all that stuff, and I take little pieces from all of them to build who I am. Because yes, there's people like Andy Frisella that I resonate a lot with, but there's people like Ed Mylett that I also resonate with, and then there's people like Jay Scheide that I resonate with, and then there's tons of other people that I resonate with that I just pull little pieces of them, because they all have different perspectives and outlooks and mindsets on certain subjects, and it's like, I like this part, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna use this for my part of my life from Andy Frisella. Then Ed Mylett, I'm gonna take this part and use it for my part of my life. And then Jay Scheide on the love and caring about yourself and all that stuff. And then like with David Goggins, I want to be that straight, I'm gonna get this done no matter what, doesn't matter how many times I fail. And then Relentless with Tim Grover, you just got to go get after it. And all these other things, like all these little things that I can pull from each one of these people that I study and I look up to, and that are mentors, and I read about and I write about. Like I can pull little things from them in order to help with my mindset, because it's not just like, at first, when I first started my journey, I was all about the Andy Frisella. Like that was it. That's all I was about. And I realized that I can use a lot of his takeaways and the things that he's taught me and applied to my life, but I am not Andy Frisella. There's no way around it. Like I'm simply not him. I relate to him in a lot of ways, and I love what he does, and I love, his passion behind it, and I love how he's a successful entrepreneur and stuff. So I want to be like that, but I'll never be him. I am my own unique person. I am a caring, loving, compassionate, huge-hearted, outgoing, person that is truly myself. I'm not a clone of him, and that's something I used to struggle with, and just over time I've really realized, like, yes, I've found my own path, I've found my own lane, I'm doing all these different things with my life, and yeah, it's honestly, that's what makes me happy compared to just trying to be someone else and following them to a T. So that's something I really recommend with your mindset is find some good mentors that have a wide variety of perspectives and stuff like that, and really take the time to understand what that is all about, and figuring out who you are as a person, and take little snippets of each one of these people that you take that are your mentors and people you look up to. And if they have something in your life that you want, really dive in deep in how they got there and what their mindset is, and how that they got to the point where you look up to them, because at one point they were in the same position as you. So making sure that, you develop the mindset of growth is going to be the biggest thing that you can do for your entire life. Because when you have a, narrow mindset and a very slim perspective, you may miss out on so much in life, because there's always room for growth and to become ultimately better. Because I know, people that have been in the game and, running businesses and self-development for 20 plus years, for example, like Andy Frisella, and that dude learns new shit every day. So what's your excuse? You're not smarter than anyone. I promise you that. There's always going to be someone smarter than you, and that's very humbling. So you have to check your ego and make sure that you are going to have a mindset of, growth, and you always want to be growing, because if you're not growing, you're simply dying. So that's all I have for you guys today. The one thing I ask is, if you find value in this podcast, I'm never going to run ads. I'm not going to waste your time. The only thing I ask is that you share with a friend, because you never know, this could truly change someone's life. And it is my goal in life is to help inspire and impact millions of people. And the only way I'm going to be able to achieve that is by you guys sharing the show. So I'd really appreciate you giving me a share on social media, sharing it with your friends and family. Also, remember to check me out on Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook for more daily content that could help inspire and change your life. It's always a nice pick me up because I'm always posting inspirational stuff and things that have helped me along my journey on a daily basis. So if that's something you're interested in, I'll put it in the comments below with all my tags throughout my social media. Make sure you give me a follow and make sure you guys give this podcast a share. I mean, it doesn't matter if you give me a 5-star review or 1-star review. I'm always looking to get better. So if you guys could just, give me a review at the bottom of this, and I really appreciate it. One thing to always remember, there's always fresh hope for a better you.